Hey everyone, PREParedness Paul here. The time has come, the weather is nicer. The Hustler vertical flagpole antenna has been up for quite some time. We need to replace the tilt base. This tilt base has put in probably 7 or 8 years, but as you can tell over the years, you've got worn out. This one's not bad because I didn't use it, but you can see here worn out holes for the bolts. This side's really bad. You can see down here in the grass. So this whole thing is one big slot. It's no longer 2 holes, so it's not as stable anymore. It's hard to even bring down. So what we're gonna do is first we're gonna take this down, and we got a ripped flag, so I need to replace it anyway. And that's what made me decide to go ahead and replace the tilt base. So we're gonna lower the Hustler, take the flag off, and then we are going to install the DX Engineering tilt base that I've had for quite a few months. I just keep procrastinating. We're gonna install a new tilt base. This is what I have at the base of mine, and I've got the radio wires and all that. So let's update this tilt base and get our system a little bit easier to tilt up and down when I need to replace that flag. Alright, so looking at the old one, you can see it's gotten a lot of wear. When the bolts had loosened up and the wind and such moves it back and forth. So what we've got here is one thing you want to make sure. So this is the base right here. This is the bottom that's going to tilt. So your antenna is going to be this way, going up, right? So what these bolts are, first of all, make sure on this piece that has all the mounting holes for your antenna, you want to make sure the hole that you mount to the bottom of this part that's on the mast is closest to the edge. See, there's a difference here how far that hole is from this edge, and this one's closer. If you use this one, it won't tilt. It has to be the short end to be able to do this tilt, okay? So, and then you put in, let's say we've got the hex nut, lock washer, washer, hex nut, washer, washer, and then this is the vinyl, I forget, nylon nut. This holds it in place. And then you don't tighten this down. There's an Allen wrench that goes here. You don't tighten this down totally tight or it won't tilt. I tightened it down to where hopefully it won't move too much, but I can also tilt it up and down. And then what you do is you tilt it, and this part slides up. You can see this slides. And so I can slide it up. Let me just put the camera down here. So I can slide this part up, unless I did it too tight. And then these bolts, which is the hex screw, washer, lock hex nut, and then the vinyl nut, and this one holds it all together, and this is the one you're going to tighten down. So once you've tilted it down and tilt it back up, this I have a feeling I got that in a little too tight, but this part slides in, and then you just tighten this down and it'll hold it. All right, and then your antenna's going to be on this side up here. So this is the side that folds down. So that's how that's set up. And they explain it in the book. It shows the order and all that. The biggest thing is to make sure the base, that where you tilt, that this inner one, the holes are closest to the end, goes to the base. All right, so let's get the antenna put on, and then the other side we'll do the we'll do the U-bolts and connect it to the mast. Okay, I had to take a break from the installation prior to it because I thought that I'd be able to use my own mast saddle clamp hooks, but it's a specific distance, and so I didn't have this right size, so I had to order the 2 sets of these, which is $32, and you need 2 of them. So now I've got it all put together. So this is basically how we have it set up now. We got the bolts we did a few days ago, and these bolts here are going to be holding the Hustler. These bolts here, this piece folds up and will slide into these slots, and you can get quick disconnects. There, it's like a plastic vinyl handle that you can screw and unscrew and make it easier, so you don't need a wrench when you want to tilt it down. We got the base down here ready, the other 2 for the Hustler vertical, and then the mast mount all set to go. So let's put that on, tighten it up, and all we got left is connect the Hustler vertical, and we'll be back in business. Okay guys, we've got it all done. You can see the spacer washer and nut in there. These are tightened down. I think I might tighten them a little bit more because I see a slight gap there. Then up here we've got, I realized after the fact, somehow I didn't get that in the instructions. One of the nuts needs to be here and here to close this gap, and tightened tight here. And then this is the one that adjusts, and you got your vinyl lock nut, or yeah, your lock nut here with some anti-seize underneath that. And so because of the slots down here, all you do is you loosen up, I guess I did tighten it, 1/2 inch tool here. You loosen those up, and then you just lift it and it comes up, and then you just lean it down, and that's pretty much it. So looking good, it's real solid. So yeah, it's $32 for one of these, and the other $32 here, and the whole thing is, but I'll tell you what, this is a lot more sturdy and stiff than the previous one. So I think I'm gonna, once I tighten these down, I think I'm not gonna get as much wear with this thing moving in the wind. And so when I tilt it down, I can tilt it down and replace the flag out here in the yard. But that's it guys, got it going. And there's one other thing I'll show you from the book, and I bought them, I just haven't put them on yet. I wanted to have just the nuts put on. It is, well, let me just show you. I just wanted to show one more thing here guys. I got it all tightened down, and it's not moving at all. The only thing moving now is the mast, because it's only about maybe 4 feet into the ground. This is an 8-foot pole, pounded in about halfway, so that's pounded in there. And then one thing I do is I do connect this bungee just to help alleviate any of the pull on the mount and this bottom part of the Hustler, even though I've got the tube that slides over the 10-meter element to strengthen it. And it just keeps it a little more rigid. It doesn't bounce back and forth so much. Hopefully it doesn't pull the shed over on some 100-mile-an-hour wind day. Solid build guys. Suggested if you want a good tilt mount, DX Engineering.